Hi, this is Monica Cox. In this video, I talk about 3 ways to stop competing and having that competition from running your life. The perspective that I'm bringing for this is more of an academic perspective because when you think about higher education, you often think about faculty and the competition for grants to earn tenure and to be promoted. So based upon my experience, I found that competition used to be a really big deal for me. I was cleaning up some of my materials and all of my moves that I've made, and I found this note, and in it, I was journaling how stressed out I was as a faculty member and how much I hated the competition that was higher education and being an assistant professor. Now, this can apply even if you're not a professor, but just imagine that you are entering your career and you have so many other people at your level and you're all trying to get to another level. So that'll situate the conversation that we'll have today. But in thinking about competition, I just realized that it wasn't healthy for me. It wasn't healthy for my life. I was always stressed out, and I decided to blog and to really reflect upon why competition was so terrible, but then also what I could do to make sure that competition did not completely tear me apart as a professional. So the perspective I came from was that as a woman of color, where there are not many people in my profession, I often felt very hopeless, and that was the source of some of the confusion and some of the anxiety that I had as a professional. But three things that I think will help you include, first of all, surrounding yourself with people who celebrate you and don't just tolerate you. So in our professional careers, we have opportunities to engage with those people who are always nitpicking, the ones who are always tearing us down, or we can find those supporters, those confidants, those bad day buddies who somehow understand you when you make a mistake. They're not going to maximize it. They're not going to try and make you look bad so that you'll be demoted. You want to find those people in your life. And I have been very blessed to have those people virtually. I've had some of those people in person, even in my personal relationships with my husband and with friends and with family. I really rely upon those people who celebrate me. So, that's something that you want to do. I look back at the Merriam-Webster definition of celebration, and it says to celebrate means to praise someone or to say something, or to say that someone is great or they're important. So look for those people who say that you're great, in spite of all the other things that are going on in your life. The ones who say that you're important, even though you know that you're not absolutely where you want to be, those are the people you want to surround yourself with. Second, I want to talk about identifying those things that you do well and really perfecting that. Some of us are wonderful speakers. Some of us are great mathematicians. We're great technical people. We're wonderful musicians. We can tinker. We're great with our hands. But whatever it is that you do, make sure that you perfect it. You don't have to be great at everything, but that one thing that you can do well, try to do it with a spirit of excellence and do it at a level where people will say, hey, that person is amazing. So, an example that I have is that I do love speaking to people. I love empowering people. I love being an educator, and I try to do that well. I've worked with at least 10 PhDs, 10 students who have gone out to get their doctorates in engineering education, and I love mentoring. So this is something that I perfect. This is something that is wonderful. Another thing is that I've taken a StrengthsFinder. There's so many different assessments that are out there, and within my StrengthsFinder, I realized that command is a very powerful strength. So I love leadership. When there's no one else who's going to take charge, I am that person who's going to take charge, and I find myself in those situations where I'm able to stand out as a leader. Right now, I'm a department chair, and so that is something where I have to make a lot of decisions. I have to be the one who goes before my team, and I love that. So I hope that this is a skill that I will continue to perfect, and it will open new doors for me professionally. So that's another thing that helps with competition. The third and last thing that I want to talk about is realizing that you only have one life to live, and that you cannot spend your life focusing on what the Joneses are doing or focusing upon what your competition is doing. It's great to be aware, but when you spend your life focusing only on the competition, you're not enjoying your life. And that is something that you have to do. There's no excuse for you to be miserable. And I think that when you realize that your life is the life that it needs to be, you will not have any issues with competition. So I'm not saying that this is something that's going to happen overnight. I'm not saying that competition is not real, because I think sometimes a little bit of healthy competition is great because it helps you to be your best. But when it's consuming you every day, when you're bothered by it, when it's stressing you out, when you have ulcers, when you're angry and jittery and you're just a terrible person to be around, competition is a problem. So I hope that this tidbit helps you out, and I hope that you will find new ways to be positive, to be healthy, and to prosper professionally. Until next time, please check out preparetobeapioneer.com. This is